Masked killers are the cornerstone of any good horror movie. From Jason Voorhees to the killers in The Purge, there is something truly chilling about a person's true identity being concealed behind a mask, allowing them to commit atrocities without anyone knowing who they truly are. It is that much more terrifying than seeing the person themselves. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 masked killers in horror movies. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. In at number 5, Smiley.
I just killed somebody. I don't know.
You called Smiley and he came. Something's been awakened, like something's been born.
What if he comes for the people who call him? Have you thought about that?
Everything's gonna end.
Now this may be the first and last time I mention this god-awful movie on this channel, but surprisingly, this is the only time it is deserving of a spot. Surprisingly. Smiley, first and foremost, is a 2012 slasher directed by Michael Gallagher, with the movie starring the likes of Shane Dawson and Toby Turner, two disgraced YouTubers. Lovely stuff. The movie tells the story of a mentally fragile college student who believes that she will be the next victim of a serial killer who can be summoned through the internet. Now, Smiley is the main antagonist of this horrendous movie, with him being an urban legend who kills people through the web by typing the phrase, "I did it for the lulz." After typing this phrase 3 times in anyone's online chat, Smiley will appear and then kill the user. I mean, deservedly so if you're typing "I did it for the lols." That's pretty embarrassing. Now this is truly dumb, we can all agree. However, this dude is pretty damn terrifying to look at, which may be the only redeeming factor of the entire movie. He has a large bulbous looking head with a large bloody smile carved into his face, with 2 slits for eyes. Along with that, he wears a black jumpsuit and wields a large blade to kill his victims. He is scary, there is no doubting it. It's just a shame that he exists in such a terrible movie, a movie that stars Shane Dawson. I mean, that truly says it all. In at number 4, we have Ghostface.
You creep.
This killer of course hails from the 19 slasher movie Scream, which was released in 1996 and directed by Wes Craven. Starring Neve Campbell, Drew Barrymore, Rose McGowan, Courtney Cox and David Arquette, the movie follows Sydney Prescott, a high school student who becomes the target of a mysterious killer known as Ghostface. Now Ghostface is named after his terrifying Halloween mask, which is inspired by Edvard Munch's painting The Scream. He is also referred to throughout the Scream franchise as the Woodsboro Killer, aka the name of the town where the Ghostface costume was first used to commit murders. Now this masked killer begins his torment by calling victims on the phone and quizzing them on horror movies. Regardless of whether they get the questions right or wrong, Ghostface will emerge with an 8-inch hunting knife and kill them, sometimes in a manner similar to that of the movies he mentioned. The mask has a special place in my heart to this day, with it sending chills down my spine whenever I see someone donning it. You deserve a special place in hell for that crime. Coming in at 3, we have Sam from Trick or Treat.
There's another tradition. Always check your candy.
This 2007 anthology horror movie introduced us to one of the scariest villains, Sam, a mysterious child who wears footy pajamas with a burlap sack over his head. Now the film itself relates 4 Halloween stories with one common element, that common element being Sam, with the child making appearances in each of the stories whenever one of the characters breaks Halloween tradition. Now Sam appears as a seemingly innocent child trick-or-treater who is dressed in footy pajamas with a large round head covered in a sack, with black button eyes and a sewn-on grin. However, beneath his mask reveals his true evil, a bald, bulbous head with sickly orange flesh and a wide mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. Essentially, his face resembles a traditional jack-o'-lantern. On top of that, he carries around with him a large burlap sack full of candy, razor blades, and a live cat. All very strange. Now Sam, in essence, is the embodiment of Halloween spirit, with his 4 simple rules being: always give candy to trick-or-treaters, always wear a costume, never extinguish the flame of a jack-o'-lantern before midnight, and to of course respect the dead. He is incredibly sadistic and will kill those who disrespect the tradition of Halloween. So this October, be mindful of how you celebrate. In at 2, we have Michael Myers.
I borrowed something from a friend at the Attorney General's office, Michael.
Now you may be surprised that Michael Myers doesn't claim our number 1 spot, but this is my list and I've saved the scariest for last, which is why Michael is our number 2 point. Halloween is perhaps one of the most famous slasher movies of all time, with Michael Myers being one of the most famous villains right up there with Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Halloween of course follows Laurie Strode, a teenager who becomes tormented by Michael Myers, a masked killer, on Halloween night. It's a staple in the slasher subgenre and a movie everyone returns to every Halloween. I mean, the movie was such a success it sparked a slew of sequels and remakes, maybe a few too many. Regardless, Michael Myers is a formidable villain and one you don't forget easily. He is slow and steady but calculated and perhaps immortal at times. He walks, never runs, but still manages to catch his victim. Now his mask is what makes him so interesting. It is actually a William Shatner mask, which doesn't sound all that scary, but when you look at it, it is pretty damn terrifying. The mask, despite being of a real person's face, manages to depict something emotionless and evil. Now although Leatherface came first, Michael Myers managed to outshine the OG, with the babysitter murders being the standard in the slasher subgenre. Like I said, the mask is truly chilling, with it removing all expression and life from Michael Myers' face, making him appear like an empty void. And finally, in at number 1 we have Jigsaw's pig mask from Saw.
There are cameras watching, and you must hide your identity. Make your choice.
Now this mask has become truly iconic, and it is perhaps the most terrifying one on our entire list, in my opinion that is. Now this mask has become so famous over the years that it has popped up in a slew of things, including Dead by Daylight, with the Pighead being one of the killers you can play as or go up against, and they are damn terrifying. Anyway, Pighead hails from the world of Saw, with Saw of course following John Kramer, also known as Jigsaw, a serial killer who kidnaps victims, trapping them in torturous situations which he calls tests or games, in order to test their will to live. And if they survive, they'll be rehabilitated. Lovely stuff. Now the pig mask is used throughout the Saw franchise by Jigsaw as well as his apprentices, primarily Amanda and Mark Hoffman. The mask is incredibly disturbing, with it having holes for eyes and long black hair, with it often being worn with a red cloak. The pig mask is notoriously one of the scariest and stealthiest villains in the Saw franchise, despite it often being worn by the same people. The pig just seems to emerge when you least expect it, and it is so damn terrifying, which is why that is one of the perks in Dead by Daylight. Stealth. It's very good. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list? Were there any masked killers that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, Top 5 Scary Random Nautica Stories Part 2. Christopher Mendes said, the app could lead you to the scariest place of them all, the lair of the pale dark Queen Lucy. Here you will find hoodies, souls, and the hopes and dreams of all the helpless victims. Ain't that the truth? I mean, it sounds pretty fun. I would use Random Nautica if it would lead me to my lair. Sounds pretty fun. I love hoodies and broken dreams. That's my life. Hoodies and broken dreams. Selena_Ann_V said, why oh why do I have the tendency of watching these scary videos before going to bed? Because you know what's good. Why would you watch something scary during the day? You should watch it at night when you're supposed to. Good girl. Matthew Richards said, I can't just add myself to the list, but the editors added you to the list on Top 10 Central Dark already. You should be allowed to. Lol. I mean, I'm allowed to do whatever I want, but I'm not gonna add myself to a Top 5 list. That's all I'm saying. Maybe one day. Who knows, when you least expect it. Gargoyle Sam said, Queen Lucy, may I use your likeness for a character in my D&D campaign? If you wish. I don't own the rights to my face. Facebook does. So, do whatever you want. Isaac Nunes said, I've been watching Top 5 Scary for a long time. I remember when Jack was around before he mysteriously disappeared. But what's more scary is that Lucy owns her own cult now. Yeah, I have owned my own cult for a little while now. Get with the times. That is probably the most terrifying thing there is. We're all too powerful. I'm way too powerful now. July Baby Leo said, get some sleepy time, Lucy. You look a bit tired today. Thank you for letting me know. I do feel tired, but thank you. I wasn't too sure until you left this comment, but now I can confirm I am tired. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. Oh, I've got the burps.